It's Jam and Sam, and today we're going to continue Ripcurl Reef, trying to restore, and I have found all the sources. We're continuing from yesterday, and I think I'm going to finish this one before moving on to Rich's Ambush, but I will finish Rich's Ambush before I upload the video. And so I found the whale sounds. They're from the Hanna-Barbera sound effects library, and someone pointed them out to me in the comments, actually. Now, the beat is going to be a bit trickier because it is, I can recognize a lot of the elements in there, but there are some elements that are not there. And definitely, not very much of it is Alice's Dream as I thought it was from Stylus Remix, but I made some progress on this, and I figured out I think I've fully figured out the arpeggios now, the synth arpeggios. So now we're off to a good start here, I think. And I also have, since in order to like avoid just moving back and forth between YouTube, I've actually like downloaded a rip of Waterworld itself to compare to. So, and also this will help with getting the exact tempo right. I also have the E3 2005 version, which Dave did. So I'll be dropping that. Where is that actually? Oh, okay, here it is. So here's that right there. And then so we'll mute that for now, and I want to like estimate the tempo here because I think this is like the beat. No, do not stretch channels. I hate when it does that. I wish it would not do that. Okay, so let's isolate just Waterworld and see what we get. Welcome, this person with Japanese names. I don't speak Japanese, but welcome. And konnichiwa. Or I don't know if that's Japanese. Actually, that might be Chinese. I'm totally assuming that could be like Chinese or Mandarin. I have no idea. But anyway, welcome. Hi, welcome, Resterminator. Good afternoon. Hey, thank you, Western. $10 from Western Hero. Thanks a bunch. I hate you, bro. Nice. All right, so let's see what elements we have here. So I want to make sure that the tempo is right first, because I'm tired of like adjusting the tempo. Drifting a little bit here. No, stop asking me to stretch the channels, man. I think it was actually 122. Nice, so the tempo is pretty much 123 beats per minute, which is kind of cool because it's like, oh, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Except it's not as easy as 1, 2, 3 because the GBA drifts a little bit, just like the SNES. So it's a little bit off at the end. So let's find out what's the exact tempo. I think I can match it by going to the end here, maybe. No, stop asking me if I want to. How do I disable that? Is there any way to like, because that's really annoying. I think it's actually 123 and a quarter of a beat per minute. So that's interesting. So it's not as easy as 1, 2, 3. It's a little more complicated than that, but that's pretty cool. Okay, so that means that now I can have an accurate thing on my drum loop. So this is the drum loop that comes in the game. And let's see, it's 2 bars, and then no pitch data. So which makes sense. Let me check and see if that's the right pitch. It actually sounds higher in the loop. I think that means that the whatever engine Rare came up with for the whatever audio engine Rare made up, it has some sort of pitch stretching without like changing the thing. So let's see. So I'm listening to the snare because the snare is easy to sort of get the pitch on. I think that's about the right pitch there. It's like pitched down a semitone. Or it could just be that because stylus remakes it could just be that the pitch was shifted as opposed to because it is a custom drum loop, so I have no idea. So and I've sort of come up with a loose draft of a loop here of the drum loop. So let's dive into it. Once I read the comments. Hi Jose, welcome. Friend of you from Chile. Hey Chile, welcome. Konnichiwa, yes. Let's see. I'm also Little Big Planet 2 Glazer. I make most of my music there. Nice. I love Little Big Planet 2. Little Big Planet 2 is like, or the Little Big Planet series is like on par with Donkey Kong Country for me, because that game was like it's similar to Donkey Kong Country in the sense that it just looks so real, like the graphics are so detailed, and it looks so, like the physics are so well done, and it just feels like such a physical game, like it's really there. And also the art style is just so immersive, just like Donkey Kong Country is. And yeah, both those games are just like really, like both those series are just like really close to me. I love Little Big Planet as much as I love Donkey Kong Country. And I also made a lot of music on Little Big Planet, but I'm not sure if you can hear it anymore, because I think it's off. I do have Little Big Planet 2 levels, but actually you can't hear it anymore because they took the servers down, so that sucks. But I did make a lot of music on Little Big Planet 2. Yeah, Little Big Planet 2 Glazer. I'm not sure what Glazer means, but yes, it's good to find other Little Big Planetians, Little Big Planet fans. Konnichiwa is Japanese, big fan from Japan. Hello, Suya. I thought, wait, is it Konnichiwa with a C? I thought it was, well, I guess it doesn't matter because it's like Japanese is not a Latin language anyway, so it doesn't really matter what letter you use. Am I right about that? But I know Konnichiwa is Japanese. I had just assumed that this person was with the Asian language symbols was Japanese, but it could be Chinese. I'm not sure what it is. Marco, welcome Marco Panea. Yo. Help me get through the morning with my boring ass corporate job. Hey, yeah, I hate corporate jobs too. I'm boring. Cheers from NJ. Welcome. Good to see you. Sam procrastinates. Of course I procrastinate. I love procrastinating. Welcome, Black Sun. Welcome, Sylvie. Buenvenida, Sylvie. Querido amiga, buenos dias. Buenos dias. Ah. Sylvia is de Colombia. Ah, sí, Colombia. I spent a month in Colombia. Me gusta colombianas. Sí. Me gusta mucho. What was your name or artist on user on LBP2? I might know you. I doubt you'll know me, but yeah, because I didn't really get around, but my username was like blue and like the word blue and then underscore and then tronic. And I think my biggest thing that I made was like a survival level, because you know they had those shark survivals on Little Big Planet 2. Well, I made a parody of it where it was just like fat people and they would just chase you around and try to eat you in the water. So that was fun. That was hilarious. And So yeah, check it. I think you can still like, cause I got a PS3 and me and my friends got a PS3 to relive our Little Big Planet days, and you can actually find a huge archive of, like actually every single Little Big Planet level is archived online, and you just have to download the files to a thumb drive and then put it on your PS3, and you can still play Little Big Planet levels in that way. Pretty cool that somebody actually did that. Yeah, I spent a month in Colombia, and yeah, in Bogota and Medellin mostly, and I loved it. Don't forget the restoration of Rockface Rumble from Donkey Kong Country 3 GBA. Yeah, that's not gonna happen for a while. There's so much in there that I don't know. Well, actually, there's only one thing that I don't know where that's from, and that's all the guitars. But the guitars are like turning up nothing. Like nobody knows where the guitars are because it's a loop. And then there's like these slide guitar things, and I have no idea where those come from. So I wouldn't hold out hope on that. Because that is not looking good. It's not looking very possible. But welcome, anyway. Okay, so anyway, let me just make sure. Yeah, it's so the song is coming through. So here's the loop that I have, and I'll take you through what it is. It's definitely a 909 snare. I recognize it, and I threw the 909 kick in there too. So let's see. So it's like that, and then you have some hi-hats, and I don't know why they're not playing. Oh wow, did it just reset my entire thing? This remix is so stupid. Like, why did you reset my entire? Like, that's so frustrating. Like, how do you design a VST that bad? Okay, so anyway, I just had the hi-hats, I think. No, I had Alice's Dream, and then it was the metal hits for the first one. So that's in there. I can hear that in there because when I play the thing. Yeah, I can hear that in there, and then after that, there's a lot of crazy hi-hats in there. So I just put up the hi-hats, multi-sample, like the loops, and I just chose some hi-hat loops. And it's not even playing the loops that I put it on. I think that's because I chose a different one. Oh, that's because I have the slice menu rather than the groove menu. Yeah, so this is sort of the loop that I came up with. And why is it still playing? Shut up. Okay, so oh, you know what? This is so this should be the groove menu. And then I don't know what channel this is. Why is this channel 2? And why are both of these channel 2? This should be channel 3. And channel 3 should be I found, because there's like some side sticks in there too. And so I found the side stick that I think is it. This one. So that's my best guess at the hi-hats and percussion. And now there's this synth bass in there. Alright, you can kind of hear that. And I think I have the wrong note. Yeah, it's probably a D sharp. So altogether it sounds like... No, that's the original way. So the hi-hats are not as bombastic as they should be, but that we can work on that later. And I'll like reverse engineer that a little bit with a little bit more detail later. Donkey Kong is painful to play, but I did appreciate the art behind it. Yeah, I've heard that people think it's difficult. I never got how difficult it was because I grew up playing it so much that it was just like, I can literally sit, like even now, I can literally sit at the game and just like let my muscle memory take me through the whole thing. And I die sometimes, but it's pretty easy, given that I played it so obsessively as a kid. So we last coqueteando. I don't know that word. I have to translate that. Because I am trying to learn Spanish. Ah. Nice. I love it. Okay, after Bonanza, I did play all 3 DK Country games and the other 2 on a Switch too. Yeah. A marathon. Orange Juice. Welcome, Orange Juice. What's I actually said? I've been listening to your reconstructions of SNES DKC. I'm an amazing guy. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it. So yeah, welcome to the stream. So here we go. We have the arpeggios now. I did find... what really helped with these was like a game changer was that I realized that all the arpeggios just follow the chord. So once that I figured out that it was just like a C minor 7, like it was only C minor 7 notes. It was easy. It set me up for success pretty much. But here's the sound of the patch. And I mostly did that by ear, and I staggered all the top notes, and then I did a little bit of simple FM synthesis using this knob right here, and then I got a filter which a low-pass filter, resonant low-pass filter, which goes upwards. Wait, does it actually go, or did I disable that? No, wait, I didn't do that. I went for automation so I could control it. So I automated the filter cutoff, and so now it rises to give it this sense of rising. And I think it might be a little bit more FM'd. Nice. I think so that sounds very good, and it made me also realize that the last chord, the D minor, or the is not actually B flat major because there's a C in there. So that would make it D minor, which just like the original Aquatic Ambience, it's D minor 7 sharp 5th, because normally D minor 7 would have a G sharp. So this is an extra sharp, or it's D minor, I think it's D6. Yeah, that would be classified as D6, add 7, I think. I'm not quite sure, but all I know is it's D, F, A sharp, and C. So basically, that's good, and that I changed the strings to match accordingly. So now they're all... Where'd they go? Do I not have ghost channels enabled? So now I have raised the G sharp to A sharp here, and so that's all well and fine. So now here, let's listen to the arrangement. Okay, so you have that sort of arrangement, and then it repeats this section. doing, like, it repeats this sort of chord movement, which is what it did in aquatic ambience. It kept bouncing it back and forth between C minor and A flat major. Okay, and then it expresses the full chord, the other two chords. So right, just same, true to aquatic ambient. It bounces between C and A flat twice, and then it expresses the rest of the thing. So here, that would be, and it has to repeat the piano bit, each piano section twice. So nice. Okay, so let's continue the arrangement. And okay, so now we have the full arpeggios. And these just repeat the first section. And then they go down to the next section. Okay, so then they repeat this. And then it probably expresses the rest of it. Okay, so and I think the chords are still there. Actually, no, the chords play. I can hear the strings playing, but they fade out. So we have this. And then you have the science friction again. And the piano also has an ending there. So we end with a long bass note in C. So a long bass note in C. Yeah, I can hear the strings there. Okay, and then we have the piano starting again. So let's just kind of repeat that entire piano. I think it just repeats the entire piano thing. Ooh, we have the sonar sound. And I think the strings come back in at some point. Ah. Okay, something unique happens here. It's like one note of the strings maybe. But then here I think the strings come back in full force. And then you have the beat come back in. And then you have also the what's it called? The arpeggio is continuing. And you also have the strings continuing. Ah, but this one plays faster now. So this one only has 2 bars of each chord. Interesting. So that means we need here. I'll just redo it and see. Let me put my snap as a bar though. So that would mean we want to slice these strings in half. Okay, and then we have the arpeggios continuing, and so do the strings. Okay, then you have the ending to the piano again. Okay, then you have this continuing. Actually, this is where it loops, I'm pretty sure. So the beat drops out, and then you have just the... Okay, and that piano actually continues for 3 bars. That single piano note. So then it goes back to the beginning. Okay, so that's all for that. So let's hear what we have so far then. Turn this down for now. Okay, so we have there's something else there. I feel like the synth should be brighter. Let's try. Nice. Okay, so that sounds great. Let's see what we have going on in the comments right now. Welcome, Doc Delta. Huh, I thought you said these would have been near impossible. This is sounding very good. Thank you. Yeah, some of them are impossible. This one is less impossible, and we're still not there. Like, we're still missing some elements of the drum beat. But I've turned to doing recreations for the parts that aren't doable. But there are certain songs that are going to take a lot longer. So a full soundtrack restoration is going to be like way long down the line, if it even is possible. But some tracks are still possible, somewhat. Hola, welcome Caesar Leon. Soy también de Colombia. Ah. Que genial, que chimba. I did learn some things when I went to Colombia, and most importantly, the curse words, or not curse words, but like explicit words. Muchas welcome. Thank you, Caesar Leon. Gracias. No, they say gracias. Gracias. Not, I'm in Spain, so I got used to gracias rather than gracias. La Sylvia está soltera. I hope so. Or nice. Greetings de Chile. Greetings from Chile. Welcome, Denza de la Realidades. Finally, this theme. I love it. Yes, this is a good theme. Welcome from Chile. Nice. I love seeing Chileans in the chat. Best part of the theme. Nice. This song always gives me chills. Welcome, Flimsy McGee. All right, so we have got a good start going. Now, let's see. I want to see what else we have. What's the next thing that comes up in the song? Okay, so we've got one of those whale song sounds. And here's the sound, the sample. That's definitely one of them. Yeah. Okay, so that's there. And I'd have to listen again to see which moment this actually comes from. And so, yeah, que chimba. Okay. I learned that's, people always taught me that when I went there. Ayúdame a conquistar. What is conquistar? Oh yeah, that's obvious. Nice. After you finish, you could use assets to make Funky's game track. The Funky's, oh yeah, that one. I don't know. That one's one of the ones that's gonna take a while. This is not something that these are like that has different sounds, and those sounds are not something that I know the sources of. I happen to know pretty well most of the sources here, but Funky's game is going to be a lot harder. It's not like I can just do whichever song I want. They have to be possible, and Funky's game is not possible. Good morning, Trade of All Jacks. Welcome. Okay, let's see where this whale sound bit comes from. Okay, so that's the bit we're looking for right here. Could be that one. Let's find out. So I would say that part is a good spot to try. Let's see. No, I think that's the other one. That could be the other one. Or it could be just pitched down a bit. Whoops, that changes the timing. Let's see. Whoops. I don't think that's the one. Why? Oh my god. I think it's so. Why? Just because I select. Why does it even select that? I didn't ask it to select that. Interesting. Okay, so I'm not sure I can hear that one in there. I definitely hear the second one. So we'll shelve that for a while. Okay, so this sound is the one of the synths we used in Mill Fever. So we're gonna get that. Let's see. ¿Qué estás comiendo? Pasta. Just my lunch. So for me, there's always that sound always sounded like a trumpet that's been sounded. You mean the whale sound there? Yeah, that's it's kind of does sound a lot like a violin too, or something in that remark. Not too sure. Yeah, it sounds it's more violin like, but it's definitely a humpback whale specifically. Como me quieres nice. Estás como loquita. What is loquita? Nice. Ah, that's lovely. I like that. Now, okay, so this part, that synth, is an FM patch, and I think I saved that patch. Yes. Wait, hold on. Mill Fever synth bass, Mill Fever drum loop. What did I save that as? I'm pretty sure did I not save that? Okay, because I need that, and I made some changes to it. So let's load up. Let's go back, dig up old graves, and go back to what's it called? Mill Fever, the first one we did, because I need that sound. And it was a preset, but I don't remember which preset it was, and I modified it a little bit to get that sound. Oh, it's two different patches, I guess, because this is like... So it's like this, but the rhythm is a little bit different. So this is exciting. Okay, so it's just that exciting loop again. And so I think I can just go and take that preset and make it what it's supposed to be. Because it's like... Good job in your restorations, bud. Thank you, Tornix No Post. So let's see. So that sound is in. I think I have it stored in Mill Fever, but it's used in Waterworld as well. So it's the exciting patch, but it's in chords. So what we want to do is find first empty and call this exciting. And then we're gonna go to FM, go load up an FM8. And then we'll search for exciting. So what the sound is doing in the wave, actually, you know what that might be is the FM lead patch. Yeah, because it's filtering out. I think it's just the FM, like a chord of the FM lead. Yeah, I think that might be actually what it is. So let's try that. And so let's go and drag in the preset for the FM lead. And so, and which chord is this here? Okay, this is the C minor chord. Whoa, that's sorry for your ears. That's crazy. Why is it so shrill? Jesus. Let's turn that down. Okay, so it's technically, I think it's an extension of the C minor where it's actually playing G minor, and it's instead of. So he's going up here. But actually, I don't know, because I can hear the cutoff going at it mid note, so that might be something else actually. And I don't know which sample that is, but I'll recreate it. So it would be like, because it sounds pretty simple. It sounds pretty predictable. So it would be this chord right here, and it'd be played in. Let's create a G minor chord. Has to be faster than that. Okay, so that's the notes. And then we have to create the tone and modulation. So this would be, first we would use and then, so with the FM part, then we just have the FM go down, I think. And then we're gonna do, for the first operator, we're gonna do like a volume envelope. Actually, I think this might not be the chord, but it might be lower. Yeah, it sounds better. And so now to make that sweep down, we have to put a filter on it. So let's do that filter sweep and do this. But it is different than that. And I think there might be some velocity play going on here. No, not really. Actually, it might be better to use the. It actually might be more worthwhile to use the exciting patch, because I think that one was closer than what I'm gonna get. So let's try with exciting again. And let's go up an octave. I think it's pretty much like that. You just need to make it morph now. So let's see if we can easily do that by like with the filter or something. Find some kind of filter changing thingy. And I think I want to say maybe it is that other chord. Okay, yeah, I think it is the original chord that I thought it was. So let's see. I don't see like a cutoff filter anywhere, actually. Oh well, so we'll just use a filter in post to do that. Let's call this exciting. No, why? No. Exciting, and then let's give it a mixer track. And let's give that a low pass filter. Make it resonant. So it starts up top and then it's gonna go down. Maybe down to here. No, it's gotta go less than that. Let's Alt X. Let's make the center up here. Actually, I think it might be a straight up C minor chord. Okay, let's check that against the original. Actually, it might be less notes than that. It might be just a single note. Let's see. Actually, I think the velocity goes like starts going down and then it just goes back up. Let's try that. Actually, I think it's a random, like the filter's jumping around, actually. Okay, so how can we make this filter jump around then, like randomly? I think there are a few ways to do that. One of which, I think the most obvious one is to use a controller. Which, let me see, I think the keyboard controller might be able to do that. I'm not really experienced in like the controller sort of thing. Let me try the envelope controller. Random. Okay, here we go. So I want to map this to the range. So as of now, we're going from about top to a little bit below mid-level. So that means I want this to go to like do the same thing. And then I want to map this to the keyboard controller. And then I want to copy the notes from here to there. And then it should work like that. Provided that I'm using C in like channel 1. Oh wow, this thing is sweeping way too far. So what did I do? I think it's I think this was a problem I always had with the keyboard controller, where the scale doesn't work. Yeah, that just makes it worse, man. What is happening here? They really need to fix that sort of thing. It's backwards. That's crazy. Oh, because I still have the automation there too. That's making it worse. So, like, what are you doing? What in the world? So, like, why? Just... That's crazy. Like, why it's not even doing... It's not even behaving remotely the way I asked it to. So dumb. I think... Oh, I think it's because it's got an envelope on it. That's why. Why is the envelope enabled by default? Okay, but it's still, the highest point only goes up to here. That's stupid. Like, it should go all the way. So let's see, maybe first half? I don't know. That's the opposite of what I want, so maybe the latter half. Okay, that's a little better. It's still not going the full extent of the thing. So that means that the top is here. So like the absolute highest it's going is there. So let's say that... So that's not acceptable. So that's still being the highest it can go is like the problem. I don't know why that happens. Probably, I guess because FL Studio doesn't really design their stuff well. And there's no automation here, so it shouldn't be doing that. Let me check if there's like a channel for this. Like if it's like got a thing going on, or maybe the bass is... Okay, there we go. I don't know why that bass was down there. Okay, so now we just have to adjust the thing. Okay, that sounds good. Except that it doesn't need to go that far, so it can stay up a little more. And then let's use a high pass to filter out some of those low end rumble there. But that sounds good. I like that. Okay, that's entirely too quiet, so let's raise that up. I think I'm gonna have to do the multiplier for this time. Okay, that's a little too much. Nice. And I hear some delays in there. Some quick delays. So let's go put, I think it's like some very fast delays. So let's go and put Fruity Delay 3 on there. Nice. Actually, I think it would have been more like 1 and 24. Yes, that's good. Okay, then you have another one. Okay, then you have it again here. Ah, and then it stops. It plays one more bar here. Oh, I think it's just echoing out some echoes there. Okay, we have more of them. But this time it plays at a different note. So what's this note? Let's go and Control B. And then we do... I think it might be D sharp, or maybe D since this is the last chord. So that means we have to redo this. Yeah, I think it is a D. And of course, FL Studio is going to extend these out, which is kind of dumb. Okay, very good. I'm trying to see if there's any more of these. Okay, that's about it for that sound. Now let's see what people are saying. Amigo Sam, Canto Evo, in Buscar Liden. Ah, is that a game? I think I've got commissioned for a couple of those. I have a couple of Evo restorations on my channel. Mega Man X for the SNES. We'll see. I feel like Mega Man lends itself better to actual like rock instruments like guitars and bass and drums and stuff, rather than I feel that would be much more rewarding than a restoration. Let me play the thing. I'll play what we have so far. Very nice. Como suena genial ese piano, yes. Cuando sombrías picaron. Ah, I think I recognize some of those words. I recognize most of those words, actually. But what is picaron? Be stung. Oh, yeah? Cool. Nice. Alright. Well, como suena genial ese piano? Ah. Ah, see. I think I understand that. Yeah, it's a good piano. Okay, so let's see what else we've got in this track. Oh wow, this... Forgot this part. Okay. So here's the science friction again, but it plays a higher note. I think it's this, and wow, that is ringing out way too long. I think it's a D sharp. Actually, it's a D. Okay, so this sound, this is another stupid thing FL Studio does. Okay, so this sound should be starting here, but only for 2 bars actually. Okay, and then it should pitch bend down after 2 bars. So what we want to do is go to this thing and then Control I, and then about the last quarter we go down to, wait till the info bar says 200. And we put that there. No, wait, this actually should wait till it'll be the second note, so it waits. So if we do select that and do insert space, but then we make sure that this stays normal pitched. Okay, so that doesn't work because the pitch bend range is always off on VSTs for some reason. So let's fix it. And how do I do that on this thing? Pitch bend range, pitch bone highest maybe. Not even close. So let's just maybe just raise the range and like just make it bigger than it is. That's the only thing I can think of. Or maybe just send the pitch bend range. If I send it to 2, it'll work. There it goes. Okay, so and I want to put a little bit of a low pass on this thing here. Let's call this science friction. And let's, I don't even know what to call this since this is gone now. But I want to low pass this because those higher notes are really annoying. Or maybe just reduce this. And let's high pass this because there's a like subsonic rumble down there. Okay, so okay, and I want to raise the low shelf a little bit, so because I want to accentuate that low end, that mid range. Nice, perfect. Okay, now we just need a limiter on it. That's much better. Now the sine wave needs more echoes. Nice. Actually, I think it could still use that EQ. Ah. So we have some sonar pings here. Se satura un poco. It's saturated a little. Is that what that means? Okay, so this will be fun to transcribe, and I know where the thing comes from. Sonar ping. So we just have to pick one of the samples because it goes through multiple pitches there. I wonder how low does this thing go? Ah. Oh, it just gets more saturated after that. So... let's see what the actual frequency is here. Let's see. Like, what note is it playing? First, we need to tune it. Why does it not tune the first one? Makes no sense. Oh man, this thing is so stupid. It just completely ignores the first note, as if there's no tune at all. I think it's going in C because this one's in C. Yeah, they all look like they're in C. So that's fine. I'm gonna put a limiter on here just for safekeeping to prevent it from distorting. So let's give it an envelope so that it doesn't ring out the whole thing. Nice. Okay, that's the tune right there. So let's see if that sounds better on on a different section. No, the first one sounds better than that one. Ooh. That one sounds really good. That one sounds maybe better than the first one. I think this one sounds better, actually. But I would say logically we should choose the one that goes with the closest pitch. Nice. So we have two very viable sounds here. One is this one, and one is this one. Now this is probably the one that was used, but it's a different multi-sample. And I don't like the way it sounds pitched down like that. Oh wait, let's keep that there. So this one sounds a lot better to me. And maybe it also might be a little out of tune. Let me see. I have no idea what that is. It seems like it's pretty in tune. It's just a little bit confusing, the tuner. But I'm leaning more towards this one. Okay, so let's find first empty and call this sonar. Now the melody here. Might be I think it's more like in a third. Oh yeah. Dee dee da da. Nice. Okay, so that goes here. Okay, so that should be louder. Lovely. Now I kind of want that to be a longer sound, so let me go in. What happened? Okay. Nice, okay. So, yeah, that's a good sound. I like that. Let's move this channel up. No, definitely not. Oh, is there like some higher notes here that I didn't get? So maybe it's like. I'll have to adjust that later, because I feel some discrepancy in there. And why did it take away my thing here? That sounds better. Okay, yeah, I like that better, actually. So now I just have to update the rest of them with that idea. And then Control B and then Shift down twice. Control B, Shift down twice. Control B, Shift down twice. And then we select all the G sharps. Actually, there's only one G sharp, so then we raise it up to A sharp. Nice. Okay, that's sounding great. I think we can do with a little less echoes. Okay, so let's see what else we have in the song. Is this the same pitch? Yes. I think that might be the sonar ping down there. There's like a single note. Yeah, let's try to match that note on the sonar ping. Yeah, I think it's G sharp. Okay, so let's, whoops, control quantize, but let's set it to step. I think it stops a bar early. Okay, so think it's like da da dee doo. Okay, and then so then it plays down here. Okay. So let's clone this, and then we do I think that might be the wrong general pitch. It's the right motion. There it is. Nice. Okay, so this, the only other thing is that this low one I want to create a looped version. Plus, I'm probably going to want to mix it differently since it's in so much in the bass. So let's crossfade this loop. Wait, hold on. Weird. Okay, so in order to loop that, I'm probably gonna have to edit it. Yeah. So let's normalize that and then trim the side noise. And then we're gonna drop that into here. And then I can even actually use the lower version because I like the lowest version that exists since this is such a bass note. Now that I have the chance. Actually, that note is interesting for the lead. I might try to replace it with that. But this, kind of wanna drop that in there. Yeah, so this would be way down to like... So let's try that idea of using that more distorted version of the top lead. That is interesting. Yeah, actually that does kind of sound better. Let's put a low pass on it though. It's got too many overtones. Let's low pass this one too while we're at it. Nice, I like it. And I kind of want to give that some release, a little bit more release than it already has anyway. Okay, so next is the harmonica. Let's see. Welcome, Alejandro Blanco. What do you think of King K. Rool's return in Donkey Kong Bonanza? Well, I heard about that, but I don't have a game system myself, so I wasn't able to experience it. I think it's a nice idea since he wasn't in the any of the Donkey Kong Country Returns games. Yeah, but I call that game, I refer to that game as Astrocon because it looks so much like Astrobot. So I think it's kind of funny because it's like very much reminds me of Astrobot. Oh, and welcome, Go. Welcome, Turbulation. Sounds amazing. Thank you. Nice. So here's where that harmonica comes in. And what he uses for this is 0G harmonica disc, or harmonica disc. Entire disc dedicated to harmonica. We know that there are multiple loops in the game from this disc, including the ones in Rockface Rumble and Brothers Bear. So, and there's one harmonica patch. So... So, let's see. Let's find verse empty and call this harmonica. And then we do... So I think it was like, I'm trying to do this, I'm going to do this from memory first. Da-da. Na 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 na. So this note has to be later. I have to make that fade out. Nice. Okay, let's check that. Ah. Okay, so it doesn't actually fade out, it just sustains the note and then stops. And plus there's another note in there that I didn't anticipate. Okay, and then we have the sonar pings going on the side of that. Dun, dun, dun. So let's insert a space for them. And of course, FL Studio is going to extend all of this stuff immediately. Okay, so dun dee dun dun dee dun dun da da dee da da do. So it would be actually, let me review that part because I'm not sure. Okay, so it's straight up what it was in the original. Nice. Where's the note? Oh, there it is. Why is it so low on the keyboard? I raise it up to octaves. Ah, it's supposed to be like this. Ah, it's supposed to be moved over a little bit. Okay, and then the next harmonica part is like da na 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 na. So it would be da na 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 na. Da-na-na. Okay, let me check on that. See if that's how if it's how I remember it. Not quite. Da-da-na. Okay, so it's da-na-na-na. Okay. This would be more like this. I think it's more like da 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 da. Yeah, there it is. Ah. And then we have some piano over here. Let's see. It's too good, this music. Thank you. It is good music. Morning, reduced nostalgic. Welcome. Welcome, Lushan Pather. Well, you never see Mal, man. You never cease to amaze. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it. Welcome, Jordan Elliott. Hey, man, love your work. Never stop being awesome. Glad you enjoy the tunes. Thank you. How's the Rich Boss theme going? You're working on that one last time. Yeah, I'm going to keep working on that one, but I wanted to do some traditional restoring for a bit. I found that, welcome Space Fanatic. I found that Firefox doesn't really seem to like YouTube live stream. The mother usage was absurdly high for some reason. But watching this at a lower resolution seems to help a lot. Nice, I'm glad you found a solution there. So, for the piano, let's see, what do we have? Here we go. Why is Ghost Notes off? I swear this thing just does stupid stuff spontaneously sometimes. So here's where it starts. And I think there's supposed to be echoes in there. Yeah. Okay, so the last thing missing is the like little the pads that have like the synth voice thing. And the reason it's a synth voice is because it uses a single cycle waveform of a voice, or a Formant filter. And what that means is that instead of having a full sample, you have just essentially a synth, because a synth repeats just a single cycle, just a single tone, really. It's hard to explain, but you'll get it. And so if I can use Surge XT for this, is the best one for that. Surge XT is like a free synth, and it's really it's one of my favorite synths, especially my favorite free one. And it just has so many great uses. So if I go to Wavetable, and then I select sampled choir Formant, you have all these controls to make a Formant ah sound. So that sounds already pretty good. Now let's go and listen to the one from the game to try and get the tone down. Let's do detuning for 2 voices. I think the tone is a little bit more aw. Ooh, okay. So that's the chord right there. That's that D minor chord. So he's taking this single chord and he's doing a beat with them. So you have to listen to see what the beat is. Da, 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 da. It's very syncopated. Find verse empty, call this Formant chords. Or just Formant, maybe. I think the chord, I know the tone isn't quite right yet, but we'll fix that later. And now I just want to get the chords right. Okay, so for that, and then we will go to the C chord, shift up for D sharp, G, and then A sharp. Oh, it changes a little bit, hold on. I think it's shifting pitch a little bit. So it's like, almost like this. There's a high pitch. There's a higher pitch one here. that's weird. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so I think it repeats that sort of beat. But I have to check if that's the right beat. I think that's the right beat. But actually, no, I think this ends here. Okay, let's check it out. Okay. That checks out, but now that I can hear the tone a little better, let's first give it like tweak the filter envelope. Nice, that's much better. Now let's give it a little chorus effect. Or give it an ensemble so it sounds like a chorus. Nah, that just breaks the sound of the game. I think it's an octave lower. No, it's a good octave. And maybe it leaves off one of those, the top harmonic there. Yeah, I think it does leave all the top harmonic. And then let's give it the rest of the chord progression there. But I think it might be like going like staying more or less in the same octave. No, actually it does go lower. But then it goes back up whenever it gets to the D section. The fourth chord. And I think there's like a resonant filter on it. There's like some resonance in there, like an EQ. So let's go and let's name it Formant and give it a give it an EQ. And let's low pass that noise at the bottom, or high pass that noise. Let's saturate a little bit too. I don't think it has a chorus on it, actually. Okay, pretty good for now. Okay, then we have it again. Nice. Wait, I had my mic was muted. But yes, enough sources are found. I'm still not sure about the whale sounds or the drums. A lot of the drums are not going to be perfect. But if it's not good enough to call a restoration, then I'll just call it a recreation in the end. But yeah, so let's see what else can we do here. So I'm gonna save the rest of the whale sound figuring out for another time, and then this thing I'm done messing with, I think. So I would say with the time we have left, so we have about 30 minutes left, Actually, I could call it here because I have stuff that I want to do today, so I'll just call it early today. And then when we come back tomorrow, I'll have figured out the something for the whale sounds and the what's it called? The I forgot. I'm blanking now. I'm tired. But anyway, oh yeah, the drums. So we'll call it for today, and then tomorrow we might do more. Probably do more Rich Boss. Finish. We can finish a Rich Boss tomorrow. It's almost done. I feel it. So we'll do that, and yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And this will be Jam and Sam signing off. Until next time, thanks y'all for coming to the stream.